Welcome to the Crimson Engine. My name is 𝙍𝙁𝙄𝙎. Today we are looking at fill light, the most neglected element of three-point lighting. Everyone can tell you about key light size, key light placement, key light hardness, and we pretty much understand what our key light is supposed to do and how to place it to achieve what you want. What is much less understood is the fill light and how different types of fill light, different sizes of fill light do different things and give us different effects in the scene. For my key today, I'm using the Hudson Spyder Mozzie bounced into a 3.5 foot silver reflector. It is 45 degrees to the side and 45 degrees above to give me that nice Rembrandt lighting. And to start with, I'm going to use a Lupo Super Panel 1x1, which is almost directly in line with the camera. I've just got the stand just out of frame. To stay consistent, I'm going to meter my key and my fill and try and keep that same ratio as I change light position and change lights. So right now, the key is giving me a 2-way. But the fill, which I'll meter by making sure that I cover the light coming from the key, the fill is giving me an F2, so I'm 2 stops under on the darker side of my face. Let's see what happens when we move the same fill light more to the side. Now we have the fill light coming from the side from a more acute angle. As you can tell, it's changed things subtly, but not a great deal. The main difference is that it's changed where the eye light is in my eye. So instead of having a singular eye light or close enough, almost like a wrapping eye light, I now have 2 individual sources, which can be a nice effect or can be not that great effect. Something that's used a lot, and I use a lot for fill light, is tube light. Now I'm going to swap over to a Voyager, digital Sputnik Voyager tube, a 4-foot one that's placed below the camera angle. So this is the digital Sputnik Voyager below my eye line as a fill light. It's still giving me the same F2 on the fill side of my face, but as you can see that there's a much different look in my eye and a much more pronounced, almost emotional feel to the fill light because now it's coming from below and you can see that almost teardrop pattern in my eye. People obviously don't think I'm about to start crying on my YouTube channel, but it seems like the person speaking is more sensitive because they have that under eye light. You can see up here, because we're now filling from below, there's like a dark spot left on this top quadrant of my head. That can actually be helpful if you're using, like I am, a 3/4 backlight to kind of cut in. You see it a little bit more pronounced. Now I'm filling with a totally different type of a source. It is an on-camera small LED. And as you can see, I get the same fill effect, but without any of the problems of having to set up a second stand. I'm using my tripod, my camera, as the light stand. It gives me a very similar, although subtly a different effect with the same contrast ratios. These are on-camera lights that are usually more associated with electronic news gathering or ENG shooting, but used in the right way, they can really come in handy as a fill light or a background light on a narrative film set. So for this, I'm using the Lupo Smart Panel. It is a on-camera 3x6" 20-watt light that is 4200 lux at 1 meter. There's no extra stand, there's no extra gear. They run off Sony NP type batteries, and the only downside is you have to squint a little bit more looking into the camera because the light is right there. So one last thing about fill light is it doesn't always need to be a light. It can be a reflector. Here I have a 3.5 foot silver reflector. It's almost the same size as the key light, but I've metered it and it's only 1.4. I can't get it any brighter without starting to get it in the shot. Now it's an F2. So you can get a reflector to be your fill, but like I said, you may need to be very, very large. You may need to shoot your key light into the reflector more to enable it to be bright enough to give you the ratio that you're looking at. So that is my look at different fill light sizes, positions, and sources. Everything that I am using here is linked in the description. Please leave your questions in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.